I see you buffing along there.
Such a catchy tune. I love it.
I know. I'm so grateful. Bruce on Twitter made the beginning intro for me, and he found the song, and I was like, this encompasses my personality completely. It's so catchy. So guys, welcome back to another weekly FPL tips and tricks Fantasy Friday. I'm having a really hard time speaking this morning. It's still a little early, but I've been up. I should be speaking better than I am, but that's okay. We're here for all of your tips and tricks for game week 32. How are you feeling for this game week? I didn't have a great game week last week, so I'm hoping to redeem myself this week.
I'm happy enough with my team. I think my captain decisions have been the ones that have messed me up the last few weeks. So I've got to make sure I get it right. But there's a few moves I'm considering making that I'll probably leave until after my show later and then not have any time to do, because I don't know if I want to be taking minus points to take risks this late on. I'm struggling ahead of this game week massively.
I feel you. So let's try to work through it. What specifically are you struggling about? And we can.
So my main thing is I've got rid of Stones. Diaz obviously blanks next game week, as does Gundogan, as does Harry Kane. And they're my three players, City and Spurs, that I have. Now, I want to get rid of Gundogan because to me, he's not going to play in the Premier League. He's going to be saved for he'll play tomorrow against Chelsea. He'll play against PSG in the Champions League. I don't want Gundogan anymore. It's who to swap him out for, which he was going to be on my bench anyway, so it's not a necessity for this game week. However, Ollie Watkins has got really difficult fixtures from now until the end of the season, and he will have a double at some point coming up. But because his fixtures aren't good, it's not going to be a good double. You're not going to be looking at that going, oh, definitely. The only reason you'd have him is because he has a double game week. Now, my thoughts were maybe to get out Ollie Watkins now and put in Edinson Cavani. But to do that, I have to get out Diaz as well and put in like a really cheap defender, which is fine because I'm not sure if Diaz is going to play against Aston Villa. You just don't know. It's a risk, I think. Putting in Edinson Cavani is a risk, but he scored one, got an assist last time out. I think he scored in the Europa League last night, came off after 60 minutes. So he's going to start. They don't have any other strikers, do they? So Rashford will probably play on the left. I imagine Cavani will play up front, but it's whether to make those moves and take a -4 to do it. I don't know. I need help. I need help.
That's what we're here for, to just like talk our feelings out about it. I know.
What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? You think I should stick with Ollie Watkins and Diaz?
Let me see. So Ollie Watkins plays Man City this week, and then I'm just looking. Then West Brom looks pretty favorable.
But then after that,
and then Everton could go either way, and then let's see, and then Man United. Yeah, so it is quite difficult. I actually transferred out Bamford.
Did you
this week? I don't know if I'm going to regret that because I was between him and Ollie Watkins, because I have Rafinha as well, and I've been transferring Bamford like in and out, so maybe I'll transfer him back in. I don't know. It's kind of like a last minute decision. I've had my eye on Cavani, honestly, because I think that he's done pretty well. Let me just take a look.
He's a differential
at like his past couple.
I
so he's only in 2.6%. But it is quite. I feel like it is like I don't know if he's going to be playing like week in, week out. You know. That's the thing. Like I
might be putting in someone at this point in the season that isn't going to be playing every week. Like it's difficult, but I want to keep Bamford because I would bank on. I think I haven't got Rafinha, so I would bank on Bamford scoring against the Liverpool defense more than I would Ollie Watkins scoring against the
the City
defense. I was always going to bench Watkins anyway for this game because I'm not benching Dallas. I refuse, even if he gets 2 points. I'm playing him after missing out on 17 last week because he was third on my bench. So I'll be playing him. I might go 4 at the back, and I was always going to bench Ollie Watkins and bench Gundogan anyway. But yeah, do you know what? I'm swaying towards not doing that move now. I'm swaying towards just keeping 2 transfers next week because then I can transfer out Diaz and Gundogan. I was always going to keep Kane on my bench anyway. I'm not going to transfer out Kane. But yeah, get rid of those 2 next week because at the moment I'm going to. It's not like I'm planning on playing. Like I was going to bench them anyway, especially Gundogan. I was going to play Diaz, but have a good sub on my bench. So I'm swaying towards not doing it now.
Well, I subbed
gone from being like really, I'm definitely going to do it to now just like now.
Just from 2 minutes. I subbed in Ian Nacho because he's somebody that I had. Oh my God, my throat. He's somebody that I had my eye on for a couple of weeks, and he scored I think 2 goals last week, and I was like, oh man,
no.
damn it.
Yeah. So I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move, and I think if it would. I think
like his last 5 game weeks, he has 9, 9, 17, 2, 13.
Yeah, I think 2 double-digit hauls in that time. It seems like he at the moment is obviously he's a better option than Vardy. He's a really cheap forward as well. He's got really good fixtures, so I might be looking to do that if Ollie Watkins, if his bench, if his double game week isn't announced soon, like as in the next week, I will probably take out Ollie Watkins for Iheanacho. I think I'm missing a trick not doing it for this weekend, but I don't know. It's just making my life too difficult having too many good players in my team. So
I know now I'm worried about taking out Bamford this week, honestly.
To be fair, I was looking at his returns today, and actually they haven't been that good for the past 5 or 6 games.
That's why I took him out.
And he got dragged off. I think he would have done, got dragged off against Man City. He did get an assist. But yeah, I don't think that's a too risky move at this stage in the season. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, because I was looking at their fixtures, and Leeds play Liverpool this week, and then they play Man United, and then they play Brighton, okay, and then they play Spurs. So I was like, really, like not super favorable fixtures. It's not like Aston Villa have very favorable fixtures either.
They will take chances though, but the fact you've got Rafinha is fine. Like as long as you've got one of them, I would say if you've got both of them, get rid of one of them because you do not want both of them. They will create chances, they will score goals against those teams, but pick one or the other. Like you've gone Rafinha and I'm sticking with Bamford, so I think that's
I'm gonna try to connect to a different Wi-Fi. So if I lose you, I might have to come back in. But my Wi-Fi is like really laggy right now. So guys, keep be prepared. All right. Hello? Did that work?
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Why is my Wi-Fi? Yeah, my Wi-Fi is like really crappy today, and I don't know why. I might have to change rooms. I think maybe there's like a lot of people on it right now. Let me change rooms. You guys are gonna get like a tour of my parents' house right now. Oh man, sorry. I just want to I would rather just like, this is my sister's room and I've been like stealing it to record in, but I would rather have like better Wi-Fi and have to move into my room or something. So it already is like a little bit better. Okay. So for me this week, I'm not sure if I still have 2 City defenders. I have Cresswell, Azpilicueta, Diaz, and Cancelo because I was like, well, if one of them gets benched, or if one of them doesn't play, then probably the other one will, So then I was like, okay, they can come off of my bench and that's fine. So I'm between putting in Cancelo for Ollie Watkins and playing like a 4-4-2 because I don't know like how much Villa are going to do against City. But, City just played. Well, when is the game actually? Because I'm thinking
our games they get us next Tuesday or Wednesday. Might be Tuesday because we play on Saturday, don't we? In the FA Cup. So
we have Tuesday and they have Wednesday. Yeah, so I don't know, like maybe they're going to, like we saw that City might like just say, oh, whatever with the league, like we've already basically won it. Focus on Champions League. So I don't know what to
do. Because they obviously lost their last game and Man United won, they will, especially I think this game against Villa is very important for City, because I know they're still probably going to win the league, but they don't want to be losing 2 in a row. They don't want to give any sort of hope to anyone below them, as for Man United, that they might potentially slip up. So listen, they're going to go full strength. They haven't got Champions League for another couple. I think it's the end of. They've got 2 weeks till their first Champions League semi-final. So I can see them going full strength against Chelsea and full strength against Aston Villa. Then for the next Premier League game, they'll sort of maybe have a little rest. They'll rest Gundogan, good rest Diaz. Thing is, with I think having 2 of them, you could probably now, because they're going to blank in 33. If they get through, if they beat Chelsea, which hopefully they don't, but if they do, they're going to have another blank at some point. So I think it's not worth having 2 City defenders anymore. I think it always was. It was great. They're the only team I doubled up on and the only team I would double up on in defence. But I think if Diaz is more likely to play in the Premier League than Cancelo. Cancelo gets rotated a lot. So I think you should probably look, and Cancelo's expensive. He's so expensive. Like, you could save so much money there and still get a really good, a solid defender, but also be able to
I have 3.7 in the bank.
Yes, that's what I mean. I mean, you don't need the money, but it's, if you can get in a player that now is going to play every single week, which is what you want at this stage in the season, the last 8 game weeks, you don't want to be like, oh, well, they might play, they might not. I'll just have something. You want 11 players that are going to play every single week. That's why I'm going to get rid of Gundogan, potentially Diaz as well. But at the moment, I've got one City defender, and I'm sticking with
Who would you look at? Like, I'm thinking maybe like a Shaw or somebody. Like
so do you know what? Before I started to make that, I'm going to put in Cavani, which I don't know if I am now. But before I was thinking about that, I was thinking of putting in Maguire, basically because a lot of the players above me have Shaw. Now, there's no point me getting Shaw because I'm not going to be able to make up anything on them if I just put in the same players as them. So I was thinking I still want a Man United defender, but maybe Maguire, because he gets forward, he gets his head on a lot of the corners and stuff like that. So he has got potential for attacking returns as well. Obviously not as much as Luke Shaw, but they've got a nice fixture at home to Burnley this weekend. Their fixtures aren't too bad, I don't think, Man United. I think they've got Liverpool, and that's one of, only maybe a couple of difficult games. But Luke Shaw seems to be the one that when United keep a clean sheet, he gets bonus as well, and he'll get like 9 points. So I definitely look for. I wouldn't bother in Wan-Bissaka or the other. It would be Maguire. But, if you're going to get one, I'd go Shaw.
And what do you think about somebody like Dallas? Because I had him in my team, but I took him out because I was like, Leeds aren't really keeping clean sheets, but he does score quite often. So do you think that like risk versus return is worth it?
Yeah, I'm playing him this week, but that's because he's playing in central midfield. So like, you're not playing Dallas for the clean sheets. You're playing Dallas for the attacking returns, and he gets forward like we saw yesterday. Like, he has so many shots, so many chances. You're saying like Leeds have got tough fixtures, they will get chances against those teams because of just how the game goes. They will get chances against Man United. They will get chances against Liverpool. And Dallas, that's why I'm playing Dallas, because I look at, am I going to play Ollie Watkins at home to City? No. Do I want to play Gundogan away at Aston Villa? Don't know if he's going to play, so no. Veltman, am I going to play him away at Chelsea? No. So to me, it was like a no-brainer, 4-4-2, Kane triple captain. But I think we'll get to that in a minute. I am playing Dallas here in a back 4, and then obviously if Diaz for whatever reason doesn't play, then Gundogan, and then Ollie Watkins will come in, and I know he'll definitely play. So it's not too much of a big deal. But I think with Dallas, you're not playing him for the clean sheets. You're playing him for the attacking returns.
Now I think, like, do I take a -4 to take out like a Cancelo for a Dallas or something? I don't know who I
Maybe not for this week, because like Leeds have got Liverpool, and they will create chances. We know they will create chances. Next week they've got Man United, but also next week City blank. So that would be the perfect time to take out your City defenders and put in someone like Dallas, or I don't know, any other defender. You could maybe a Aston Villa defender, anyone like that. But I don't think you necessarily need to do it for this game week. But maybe when City blank, definitely look to getting one of those two out for someone like Dallas. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I had him in my team, so I'll probably end up transferring him back in. We do have a question or more of a comment. If you guys have questions that you want us to answer about your FPL teams, feel free to ask and we'll try to answer as many as possible. He said, hey guys, I know you aren't big fans of Jorginho, but I think it would be wise to have him in our FPL teams. He's on penalties and playing with good rhythm, also short of game time. What do you think about this, Liv?
I think he's a good cheap option, and he's probably going to play majority of the time. We know Thomas Tuchel really likes Jorginho. I just think it's so hard to predict. Yes, he's on penalties. Our penalties have dried up more recently. We're not going to win penalties every single week. Werner seems to be the one that wins them. Werner hasn't been on the pitch recently. So I just think with Chelsea as a whole, not even just Jorginho, I think it's so difficult to predict who he's going to play, in what competitions they're going to play in. If we get through in the semi-final, God knows who he's going to play midweek against Brighton. I've got absolutely no idea. And I want to have a Chelsea player in my team because I just do. I always like to. But as Equator, like you, Ellie's the only one I've got. But I just don't trust any of the attackers. I just don't know who he's going to pick. So like we were saying, we want players that are going to be playing from now until the end of the season, every single game, 90 minutes or 70 to 90 minutes every single game. And it's just too big of a risk to put in any of those Chelsea players right now. Havertz looking good. Pulisic, if he can carry on playing like that, Jesus, he'd be a great FPL asset. But you just don't know with Thomas Tuchel. I've got no idea. So I think the comment's right. I think Jorginho is a good shout, but I also think maybe just there's better options at that price. Yeah. We're going to play every single week, that get forward, that have a chance of attacking returns without just penalties.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like when you're looking for those cheaper midfield options, you want to try to look for people that are going to get you attacking returns. And Jorginho doesn't score if it's not a penalty.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just putting your eggs in that basket, hoping that Chelsea are going to get a penalty. And we also don't know who's going to play. Maybe we'll see him more because Kovacic is injured. But maybe we'll see somebody like Billy Gilmore come into the. I really want to see Billy Gilmore play more. I don't know why. Especially with Chelsea still in the FA Cup and the Champions League. So maybe we're going to see even more rotation because right now Chelsea are still in 3 competitions. So it's just like a little bit risky. And like Liv said, I don't have any Chelsea attackers because I just don't know who's going to play. I just have Azpilicueta because he seems to be the only person that's playing every single game, which is insane. Yeah. We've got a question from Devent. He says, should I triple captain Harry Kane this week? And Liv, you spoke about this, so curious.
I am triple captaining Harry Kane. I have saved it just because I've never really had the balls to use it more than anything. It's not like I've been saving it tactically. I looked at the fixtures and I know it's Harry Kane. He's top for goals. He's top for assists. I know Spurs aren't playing that well, but they've got a fixture against Everton, which historically, he's quite enjoyed playing in. A Southampton at home. He's going to play both games because they still want to get into Europe, whether that be the Champions League or the Europa League through the league. He's not going to be rested. And I just look at I know there will be double game weeks later on. Games will be moved, but at that stage, you look at the players that you will triple captain. Notoriously, are Bruno, are a Gundogan, a KDB, a City player, or a Salah, and Salah and Mane probably not going to have any more double game weeks because they're out of every competition. So they're just going to have their Premier League games unless towards the end of the season 2 are put into 1, and therefore you could go Salah. But this to me seems like the most logical time to use my triple captain. Harry Kane, 2 good fixtures. He's going to play. It's not going to be any of this, is he going to play, is he not? Like with City's players, you just don't know because when you have City's double game weeks, it's almost like it's a single game week because they will play half of them for one game and half of them for the other. Whereas I think this is I have activated it. So if I forget, this is big news. I feel like it's not even... Everyone's going to captain Harry Kane, aren't they? Let's be honest. You'd be stupid not to captain Harry Kane when he's got 2 games when everyone else only has 1. And that's why I think unless he does a madness and gets like a hat trick, it's not actually going to be too much of a big
That's
thing.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Anyway.
Do you go for somebody like Son? If I have both of them in my team.
It's a differential.
So I currently have Harry Kane captained right now. But do you go for a Son to just try to get that differential, because the majority of people are going to see Harry Kane double game week, and maybe he has been scoring as well. So I don't know who to pick, honestly.
I think Son's a good option because I think he, like you said, he's a differential. A lot of people got rid of Son, haven't kept him. And a lot of people I think will captain Son. But when I'm giving my triple captain, I haven't got Son. I wasn't going to get Son back in for this game week either. But when I want a triple captain, I want a triple captain someone that I'm going to have like full confidence in. And at the moment, the only player I look at in my team who I think, you know, is a reason he's top for goals, there's a reason he's top for assists. He's just transformed into a whole nother level this season, Harry Kane. And saying that, he'll probably blank now. So apologies to everyone that's going to have captained or triple captained Kane. I think I've probably just cursed him. But if it's any consolation, I will be doing it myself. And yeah, I think that's a good option. If you've still got your triple captain chip left, I think now's a good time to use it.
Yeah, my triple captain didn't work out. Yeah, it's big news. Liv using her triple captain this week. It's gonna go well.
I shouldn't have told anyone. I should have just kept it quietly.
My captain process always mess up. Like every single week without fail, I'm like, oh, I'm going to captain this person, and then blank. And the person that I was like, oh, maybe I'll captain them will score like a brace or something. So I always get so unlucky. Arthig as I need to replace Pedro Neto with 8.5 remaining points. Already have Bruno, Lingard, Jota, and Gundogan. Any recommendations?
So you've got Bruno, you've got Lingard, you've got Jota. Thing is, this is the difficult thing. Once you haven't got Salah, you can't get Salah back in. And I think a lot of people are trying to get Salah back in now. When I look at, you know, midfielders, it's really hard because all the big ones are expensive. You know, like me and Ellie were saying, if you wanted to take a risk on someone like Christian Pulisic, you would be able to afford him. But that, again, do you want players that aren't going to be playing the rest of the season? All of the players I'm looking at on this list aren't, you know, Ziyech doesn't play, James Rodriguez, Everton doesn't always play, Pepe doesn't always play, Pogba doesn't always play,
Mahrez
doesn't, Mahrez, Madison, Mount. It's really difficult, and I think most people's midfield consist of, I think, the ones you have there. Everyone's got Bruno, everyone's got Lingard, everyone's got Jota, and everyone's got Gundogan. So you're going to be looking to put in a real differential. Do you know who I was actually looking at?
Rafinha, he could put in.
You could go Rafinha, yeah, that's a good shout. And also, I was looking at Bukayo Saka, but the thing that put me off him was that we don't like most of the rest of the players. We don't know if he's going to play, and you know, all of those. I didn't watch the Europa League game yesterday, but he came off. He did come off he had a 10-15 minute rest, and I think he will play against Fulham, and it's a nice fixture. Now, what I would say is, if you were looking to get in, maybe to take out one of your strikers, perhaps you could look to get in someone like Lacazette, and then get a really cheap midfielder that you're going to bench, because I think someone mentioned it on the comments. He's got a really good fixture at home to Fulham. He's in really good form. Scored a brace last night. He got two. He got a goal and an assist in their last Premier League game against Sheffield United. So I think he's a really good option. And if I could afford him, he would have been the one I would have put in, and I would have made that move from Ollie Watkins to Lacazette, but I just can't afford him. But yeah, midfielders are so difficult, Arthik, to pick. And besides the main chunk of ones, you're going to have to take a risk somewhere, because all of those players play every single week. So you might just going to have to, you know, risk it with someone.
Yeah. It seems like you could even do like a 4-4-2 formation if you kind of just have somebody on your bench that you don't really care about. You could do like 4 defenders or 3-4-3 or something like that as well. Perhaps you can find like an asset that would be good for you elsewhere. Omar says 3 from 4. Shaw, Semedo, Diaz, and Aspie all have great games.
If I was going to pick 3 of those, it would be Shaw with Burnley at home, Azpilicueta, Brighton at home, and I would go Diaz, because I think that Diaz might not play, and he's one of those players that if he doesn't play, he's not going to come on for 5-10 minutes. So that way, you're going to have Semedo come off the bench anyway. It's who you prefer out of Diaz and Semedo. Who's most likely to get you a clean sheet? I don't know who have Wolves got. Wolves got a good fixture. I don't know who Wolves have got.
Wolves play Sheffield. So
okay, so Sheffield United at home. Well, if you think Semedo got more of a chance of keeping a clean sheet, then play Semedo and have Diaz on your bench, because there is every chance that Diaz might not play. Like I said, I think that they'll want to win this Aston Villa game. This Aston Villa game is very important for them. They can afford to lose it, but they're not going to want to lose it after just losing to Leeds, are they? So, I mean, if it was me, I would go with Diaz, but I can definitely understand why you'd go Semedo and have Diaz on your bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, really great advice there. Dan Hill asks, what do you think of Kai Havertz as an FPL asset going forward? You're smiling.
It's so annoying because, you know, I want to have a Chelsea asset in my team, and I do think he will be a really good FPL asset. You know, he's that game against Palace, you know, he showed everything. Well, he showed more, like, you know, about what he's like as a player, and I was really impressed by his performance, and I hope he carries it on. And listen, I think most of those Chelsea assets could be good assets going forward, but I would hold off until next season for Havertz. If you want Werner, if you want Mount, I think we'll get more of a clear idea next season as to who is going to be playing more. I know that Thomas Tuchel rotates his teams, he always has done, so maybe in that sense we're not going to, but I think this season it's about results. He's going to switch it up, he already has, so I think it would be too risky at this stage going for someone like Kai Havertz. But listen, if he continues playing in that false nine position, he's going to continue to get chances, and he probably will score goals, and but I just think hold off for now, and go again next season. I'd love for you to be risky, Dan, and just chuck him in, but I wish I had the balls. Like if you're going to do that, I can't do it. Can't bring myself to do it. I think he will be going forward. I think he will be a good option, but just maybe not yet.
A really good differential, but we just don't know who's going to start. Especially now, I'm thinking like, okay, Pulisic, Mount, Havertz all started 2 games in a row. So who's going to be playing versus City? Who's going to be playing versus Brighton? I literally have no idea. Like, there's just too many options. Yeah. So we just have a couple more questions. Devan says, I have Bale in my team. Should I take a -4 for Son?
Yes. Do it. I think, do you know what? I think Bale is these are the sort of games that Bale will play in. Perhaps not Everton, but definitely Southampton at home. But you know for sure, Son's going to play both games. Son is more threatening than Bale. He's got more goals this season. He's got more assists. He's more likely to get attacking returns. Like I've said about a million times on this stream, you want players that are going to play every week. You don't want players that might. And Bale's been in and out of the team. He doesn't play in the more difficult games, or play in the slightly easier games. So yeah, if you've got the money in your bank, I would 100% do that. I'd take a -4. I've never really understood these people that have Bale in their team. Sorry, Devan.
It was my biggest mistake, I feel. I said it was like a week or two, and then I was like, no.
Yeah, I was like, don't jump on the Bale hype. Please don't jump on the bandwagon. It's a waste of money. Don't do it. And, you know, for those couple of games where they played Palace and Burnley, I think it was, and he got like 13 and 14 or something like that. But literally, apart from that, it's just not. That's what I mean. You probably play against Southampton, but if you can make that move, make it 100%.
Nice. Courtney and Kyle say, good afternoon, girls. Loving the stream. Keep it up. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We have this every single Friday for fantasy. We're both obsessed, so it just makes sense. Says, I feel guilty every time I look at my FPL team because I have more Spurs than Chelsea players. Me too, actually. I have 2 Spurs players and 1 Chelsea player. So
actually, I've only got 1 of each. Kane and Aspi, and I'm happy with that. I don't have more. There definitely has been a point in the season though when I've had more Spurs than Chelsea.
Yeah,
but it's Thomas Tuchel's fault for rotating too much.
I would like Spurs haven't been playing that well that I don't really want to have like that double up anymore. But I just don't know who else to put in. Like I don't feel like anybody else is
game week as well. It makes sense in game week.
You know, Krishna says, should I take a punt on Mora by taking Jota out for a week? Leeds finally showing some defensive form.
No, I wouldn't. I think it's a tough one for Lucas Moura. He does play well, and I think with Leeds, I know they're better defensively, but I think that game against Man City was a complete anomaly with this Leeds team. We haven't ever seen them sit back like that and soak up pressure and try and hit teams on the counter. Every game they've played in, pretty much every single one has been open, attacking, free flowing, that sort of football. and they've been beaten 6-2 by Man United, 4-1, 3-1 by us. Teams have put 4-3, like goals have been scored, and I don't think they'll play the same way against Liverpool. I just don't think they will. I think they'll go at Liverpool because I feel like they'll probably know that they can hurt them if they do go at them. And I think Jota's going to play. You know, he got rested against Real Madrid, didn't he? He came on. So I can't see him not starting. And I think for the money he is, and if you're just going to do it for 1 week, I just don't think there's any point. Liverpool, remember, are out of every competition now. They've only got the league to play for. It wouldn't surprise me if they played Salah, Mane, Firmino and Jota in this game against Leeds. So no, I would think if you're going to do it for 1 game week, I would stick with Jota.
Yeah, and I think Jota's also in really good form as well. So I wouldn't take him out right now. Just last question here. Alex asks, do you think Alonso will start against Brighton? I think he's a great differential, but hasn't played in a few games.
So I think he will play against Brighton. It happened against in our last game. Who did we play in the last game? Who did we play? Who did we beat? Did we win?
Crystal Palace? Was it Crystal Palace?
And did Alonso start in that game?
I don't think so. I think Chilwell started.
So Chilwell's actually been really good.
He started the past 3 games.
He's been, and I've been really impressed with Chilwell. I thought he was really good again against Porto as well. I think if you were going to go for him, probably would have happened a few weeks ago now. I do think he will start against Brighton, though. I think we'll probably see Ben Chilwell start against Man City, and then him start against Brighton. And listen, he is an attacking threat. You know, I would expect us to keep a clean sheet against Brighton. I would expect him to get 1 attacking return like he did. I know we lost that game to West Brom, but he did get an assist. It's a brave move if you do it. Answering your question, Alex, I do think he's going to start against Brighton. He is a great differential, but it's if you want to take that risk, and that's a big risk to be taking at this point in the season. But listen, if you're close to the top of your leagues, or you've got money on it, or if there's big leagues that you're in, I wouldn't take that risk right now. I don't think that's a good risk to take. But if you're mid-table, or if you're not really playing for anything, then definitely take a punt on it. Like if you've got nothing to lose. But I think at this stage in the season, that would be a brave move to make, and I definitely will not be making it.
Yeah. I just don't feel like Alonso's really, even if he's starting versus Brighton, I don't think it's worth transferring him in or keeping him.
It's expensive as well.
Yeah. Like you could probably get Rudiger and Azpilicueta for cheaper, or around Rudiger definitely is cheaper, and he's starting more or less most of the games. Okay. So, and let's see, Chelsea haven't been keeping clean. I transferred Azpilicueta in, and Chelsea have not clean sheets.
I think everyone did that. I did that. I think who was it? West Brom and then Palace.
I was like, this is
guaranteed sheets, and now literally we've got Brighton. I would expect us to keep a clean sheet against Brighton, but we probably won't. West Ham, then we got Fulham, then Man City, then Arsenal, then Leicester. I'll be taking Azpilicueta out.
Oh man, I hope that we get some clean sheets. Otherwise, I feel fully responsible for this. Honestly. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We've been talking for over half an hour about FPL, which is super cool and fun. I really enjoyed this stream. Hopefully it helped you guys and brought you guys some clarity in the decisions to make. Let us know in the comments how it's working out for you, how our advice is working out, or we can just be sad together that somebody blanked. It's hard. Either way, really. But Liv, thanks so much again.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So guys, until next time, I'm out.